Yeah, the video hasn't even started, but I need to tell you something. This is a school project. It's not even a good one. It's very lazily done. Um I tried kind of. I only had a week to get this done, man. I had to get this done by the end of the week. So, good luck. Oil painting, an art form that dates back all the way to 650 AD on the Buddhist monks' temple walls and ceilings and roofs. But of course, it's more known for the Renaissance era, and it still follows us in modern day. Mainly me. I paint oils, oil paints me, and I want to show you how I do it. Step one for me is finding the muse. But I'm going to keep it simple and say find something you're comfortable doing because you're going to be sketching this. I'm picking the goose. Yes, the goose. A very majestic animal indeed. The reason I say this is because you're going to be doing this for the first time. You're going to be sketching it for the first time. You're going to be oil painting it for the first time. So pick something you're comfy with. Now, the sketching technique I use is known as fashion sketching. This technique was created in the 1500s to 1600s. You sketch out a simple idea of what you're going to paint and add on when you need to make the piece. I use simple shapes, and depending on how realistic I need it to be, I will add to it. And I say make because this technique, if you can't tell by the name, is usually used for clothing designers in the fashion industry. But I use it as a way to get over the big, scary blank canvas. Yes, something we all fear. And I'm gonna be frank, I'm not perfect. It takes time, and my sketches are always gonna be messy. Don't worry, we're gonna fix that over time. Now, the next step I'd like to call the $1.50 step because I go cheapskate on it because I use acrylic and water instead of oil paints and some clear oils. But we'll be professional and call it step 1.5, toning. Toning is where you basically, as the name says, tone the canvas with a simple color. Usually people go with a bronze of some sort, but I'm just going with the theme. Ignore that, okay? I'm just gonna keep talking. I use 1 point water and 1 point acrylic. Oh dear. Just why? Just ignore this, guys. Trust me, I'll fix this. Okay, noted. Lightly erase the sketch before you tone the canvas. And maybe not wipe it with paper towel, because now I got these ugly bits on it. Well, that's fine. Step 2, painting. Specifically painting the shadow layer, or as many artists call it, painting the sketch. Now, this is very important because this is how you highlight the shadows to your main focus. For example, the wrinkles or any feathers, or basically any important thing you do not want to forget while painting. I also recommend you let this shadow layer dry, so if you screw up like I have multiple times, as you can tell. But anywho's, that's why I recommend you let this layer dry so it gives you a solid foundation to go back to. Now, usually when I do the shadow layer, it is a cooler color, but for the sake of the theme, I'm going to pick a warm tone color, just to help suit that comfy, cozy, cottagecore vibe, so to say. I don't know what the aesthetic is called, bear with me. Step 3, Alma Prima painting. Say that 10 times fast. I sure can't. Anyways, Alma Prima painting is a technique where you put the bases of your colors onto the painting, along with the shadows and lighting in one sitting. Yes, a big time saver for us oil painters, because God knows oil painting takes forever to dry. The technique of Alma Prima doesn't exactly have a time frame or an artist who invented it, but there was an artist who popularized it in the 1500s. His name is Fran Hals. The man painted beautiful paintings full of emotion. Despite that, over half of his self-portraits look like he is dead inside. I'm with you there, buddy. Hopefully, unlike half of the people in his generation, he enjoyed living. Oh, thank God. Okay, guy died from unknown causes. Mystery solved. Now, on to what we were talking about again. What was it? Okay. Right. Alma Prima. We were talking about Alma Prima. Okay. Anyways. Vincent van Gogh, Claude Monet, and Richard Scheme. Okay, just read the thing. We're all artists of oil painting and use the technique of Alma Prima. I am no master myself, but I could say it gives me a lot more flexibility of blending in the extra add-ons that I put onto my painting. It's a big game changer in the painting community. It makes painting skin a lot easier, painting hair a lot easier, and I'm still on the fence about this, but apparently it makes painting clothing a lot easier. I might just suck at it, but I'd recommend you work slowly on parts you know you struggle with. Please take your time. You are new at this, and it's scary, just like what I'm about to do. Backgrounds. Yeah, no one likes backgrounds. They're really pretty, but they're hard to do. And I could easily just give this slap on like a blank background and say good enough. But I think this goose deserves some lovely grassy patchy land. I recommend you start off with the base colors. It helps decide the atmosphere of your main focus. For me, as you can tell, it is a bit of a cottagecore vintage aesthetic. I don't know what it's called. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Once you let that base layer dry, you're going to be doing something I would like to call painting the illusion of a detailed background. Now, you might be asking, what do you mean by painting a detailed background? I want to make sure to impress. No, you do not. It's not going to impress anyone. Most people won't notice. That's why I'm going to say this once. Paint the illusion. Because the human eye is going to trick you into thinking it is detailed anyway. So why waste the time in making it extremely detailed? You could easily use a brush to mimic or create the illusion of detailed grass, detailed leaves in a tree or bushes, or detailed clouds. And I'm gonna be frank, it's gonna look more natural in the long run. Now, I say this also because it saves time and it saves your sanity. Trust me, I have learned the hard way. And as you saw prior to the video, I used a fan brush to make the grass, to create that lovely fluffy texture for our lovely little goose. And as I work on this painting, I'm going to be using a flat square brush to complete the sky. And trust me when I say it's going to make it look amazing. It's going to give the clouds character and it's going to make it easier to paint in general. It's just also maybe me being a little lazy. I'm going to be frank, there's no excuse. I'm just lazy, okay? I don't want to have another brush to wash. And it works out in the end, I promise. Just look at these paintings. See how their backgrounds are simple? See how pretty they look? So trust me when I say it's going to look good, and it's also a time saver and maybe a brush cleaning saver for me because I'm lazy, as you can tell. Now, as you can tell, I'm just working on the clouds, kind of pitter-pattering the shape of the clouds. I'll add more character and texture a little later. Now, as I work on these clouds, I'm using a soft, warm, peachy color for this. I don't know the exact name because I got paint on the bottle, as you can tell from my messy desk. Yeah, I'm not the cleanest person. And I'm just going to give you some advice here and now. When painting clouds, my best recommendation to make them look really natural and very colorful and pretty despite being white is if the sky is warm toned, you're going to make the clouds cold toned. It will make the clouds pop, vice versa. And if you need, you will add some warm accents to help it blend into the background. As you can see here, I am just adding some titanium white to the clouds to help it blend in more and seem more natural. And as you can see, I am also pitter-pattering between the sky and the grass so I could slowly see it all come together at once. It helps unify the painting and it's just a little more satisfying. Now, this part doesn't necessarily have to be considered a step, but I'll just call it the tinkering step, so to say. This is the final part where you just add any final touches you would like to add to your oil painting. After this, usually you would let it dry and varnish it, but I don't have varnish. So I'm just going to finish off this video with a thank you for watching and signatures. Yes, we all need to sign your paintings. Remember that, folks. Bye-bye.